everyone, and welcome back to LSI summer season. We're here today for the Australian Grand Prix, the Saturday tier. We had a great race yesterday, but now we're in qualifying for today's race, and it is dry instead. And oh no, Reese's round goes to open up the lap, but it's over before it's begun. I don't believe it. That is such a shame. We'll go on board with his teammate who's about to start a lap very, very shortly. That is not ideal, not what you want to see. But unfortunately, that's going to be it. We do have Blake up ahead, but I think they've made a mistake. They're going to let Philemon go through. Now, Zingy, you did have a wet quali. It doesn't really matter with the strategy for the race. So I think it's pretty straightforward that the sprint's going to be a medium tire. What will the feature race hold for strategy?
The feature race? I'd probably say medium hards. Or if you're starting at the front and you feel like you've got enough straight line speed, or just enough pace in general, you could go hard medium, because I think that's a more beneficial strategy for the tyres in general, so you could go faster. But I don't think we'll see many two stops, many soft tyres, unless it's a late safety car.
Yeah, fair enough. Philemon on the lap right now. We'll watch on board, up by just under half a tenth. Unfortunately, they still need a bit more if they want to go for pole. Probably would be enough to get them ahead of Curran, as the margins are pretty fine, but JMO is right up there. They're in the pits at the moment. They're still waiting for the time to go down, it seems, and then they will get back out. But riding that curb, they're down on the time, unfortunately, Philemon now, so struggling a little bit. There's still more time in the session, but they are running out. We don't quite know how much time there is, because there is a yellow sector. There you go, 8 minutes. So we've still got plenty of time to go in this session, but Philemon coming around the final few corners, got a car ahead of him, but it doesn't really cause a threat to impeding. Ran the final corner, a long run up to the line, so that final corner there, getting the exit right, is crucial. And Philemon does jump up ahead by a tenth and a half in the end, so he managed to bring it back in that last sector, of course, so that was pretty good from him in the end. So well done. 17.8, still got about, it's a half a second to JMO up ahead in the Williams.
Yeah, JMO looks rapid. Honestly, he looks very hooked up with the car, and speaking of those cold tyres, really not doing him well as he nearly goes off the track. But oh yeah, cold tyres, they're going to be an issue, especially coming out of the pits. If there's no safety car, unlike what happened in the feature race last time, we're going to see a lot of people doing the overcut, probably trying to keep it long on the mediums.
Oh no, JMO didn't get out the way of Eager Pro. Eager Pro was approaching down the straight. He still didn't get out the way and only moved out the way before turn 5, which is really quite in the way. And I hate to say it, but JMO's going to get in trouble for that one. That is not ideal. So their weekend is going to be in a bit of jeopardy before it's actually got underway. Currently, of course, they're on pole, and it wouldn't change that, but for their race, it might cause them a bit of an issue. Sorry to butt in there.
Nah, it's alright, it's alright. But yeah, that's not what we've seen qualifying. Now, Igor's on a lap, but it's going to be messed up now, hasn't it, due to JMO's misunderstanding of where everyone else is. But that happens sometimes. I mean, people still getting used to this new Australia track, as Igor nearly loses it in the last corner. And again, yeah, this track's really tricky, and it's actually quite hard to see as we see Robbo go for a little spin. Igor actually got that lap in and is in P5 at the moment, so even with a slight hold up, he's doing not too bad. Coming into turn 3, you want to brake around 75 metres, and he gets to stop nicely, shifting down into second gear. You want to open the car up widely into turn 4, but he's not really done that. Turn 5, you want to touch this curb a little bit. He's not touched it, maybe try to just keep the momentum, maybe a lower right height. He's 2 tenths up in the first sector, and he's not invalidated somehow. I have no clue how, but we're going to keep on going. This new section of the track, it's completely flat. You make sure you don't go too far to the inside, otherwise you'll bottom out. Now you move to the inside. Track's a bit more smoother here. Coming into the fast left-right chicane, you want to hold it in 6, you can really cut that bit, and Igor's missed the apex. But he gets the DRS open nicely. Coming now into the other new part of the track, a really tight 90-degree right-hander. You want to brake really late for this, you can run onto the curb a little bit, which is what Igor's done. Now the last sector, you need to throw it through here, and he's invalidated. Oh damn,
I think he got both rear tyres off the circuit there. The front tyres, of course, were one was off, one was on. So That's really annoying. You don't really know, but when both rear tyres are off, and you just think, how is that invalid? But it's just the way it works. I don't know, I'm waffling there, but I can understand how frustrated he is. That's Blake coming around the final corner. I think he's starting another lap, or are they finishing a lap? We've got the Alpha Tauri coming around the final corner, and they don't improve, so I think they might be on another lap. Blake is into the pit lane. We're watching on board with Reese right now, so he's the only driver actually, that's on a lap, but of course the other guys behind are also opening up the laps. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Purple sector there for Reese, but a lift as they head to turn 10, unfortunately. And now to 11, of course, and I think this is 12. Yes, it is. No ideal, not ideal.
Oh wow, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. And to the last few corners, he's actually kept it valid at least. He touched the grass a little bit, and that's going to compromise his line coming into the last few corners. Coming in the final corner, he's lost it. He's in the wall. He is in the wall. Oh. But he's slowed it down enough so he doesn't retire, and that's Reese probably out of qualifying. Well, he's going to be starting P10 unless he can make it back to the pits. But with 4 minutes to go, it's going to be quite tight, so he's going to have to push and try and get back quickly.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a whole nother hot lap if he wants to get back in time. Luckily for him, it's a sprint race event, so he's going to be able to, use that 10 laps to try and make their way up the grid, and Reese can do that, of course. He's usually very good on not getting time penalties, so if everybody else does, and there's some safety cars, which we did see yesterday, it will help him out. Liam's left the session. Hopefully they can get back in. They do have time to join, but yeah, Reese still has a chance here. It's just a shame it didn't go quite to plan. On board with the Alpine. What happened?
I don't know. It's just yellow flag, Reese burning fuel. So maybe he believes these tyres can do more than one lap. Because he's got 3.4 laps of fuel in, so...
You don't have to start on them anyway, so it's not like it used to be. Back in the good old days. Now, Philemon's going to start a lap. Let's watch on board with the other Merc. He needs to get half a second to actually have any chance of getting pole. Demo's set an absolute flyer, and we're going to go through as we head through Sector 1 down to Turn 3. It looks tidy so far. Bit of a lock-up or a correction, and he's backed off of it already. Unfortunately, that's going to be that one done. He's going to be able to go round again, but there'll just be some unnecessary extra wear on board with Eager Pro coming back through Turn 4 now up to 5 rides. That outside curve this time doesn't have a car to the left-hand side to avoid. Carries on through. Liam joins the session. Doesn't ride that curve on the inside as much as he did last time, but gets through it quite tidily, and that might be an improvement. Watch on board until we get to Sector 3 to see what time he is doing. It looks fairly neat right now, and he's up by 2.5 tenths, so this would put him not an improvement in position wise. Still going to need 3 tenths if he wants to get ahead of Blake, so he's still got some time to gain, and if he can gain that on Blake, he might even be able to have a go at a Cohen here, round into the final corner. There are a lot of corners here, so you will be able to gain some time, but also lose a lot. You do make mistakes around the final corner. It manages to get through it. It's not over till that final corner. Now up to the line. And what's it going to be? And it is a P2. A P2. Lovely, lovely stuff. A 17.5 Philemon didn't improve. And they're going to have to go again, of course. We did see them make that lock up, and they had to back out of the lap. We do have a McLaren going for a lap, but I think they might be going a little bit slow. I think that's Reese as well, who's just trying to hold up and wait unless Reese has finished his qualifying session. He's on 2-lap-old softs, of course. Philemon carries on through. We'll watch on board, of course, until we get to the next sector, and then we will see if he's improving. I just unfortunately missed that one, so watch a little bit longer. We do have JMO also on a lap. We're actually going to have a look at JMO, see if he can improve and defend that pole position, despite not even being overtaken right now. What's it going to be? And he makes it to the final corner. And it's up by 0.5 tenth. Lovely stuff. Just trying to secure it there a little bit more. Philemon has to improve because They're currently P3. They're not even on the front row at this stage. And around the final corner doesn't invalidate, very close to the track limits on the rear there. Round the final corner again. And they have the Ferrari up ahead, which is Pro going for another lap. Is he going to be able to improve? He doesn't. Philemon across the line, and he does improve, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Pro's looking for a front row here. Will Blake be able to improve? I don't quite know. We didn't see the second time into Sector 1. We do now. Oh, he was up by half a tenth. It wouldn't have been enough, but he spun it. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, that is such a shame. They're looking for a DRS train, the two Williams as well. You don't get DRS, a slipstream change, I should say. You don't get DRS on that middle sector. Oh, that is such a shame that it didn't work that way. Such a shame. We do have Cohen on a lap right here. And we'll watch on board with them. We've got PJ on a lap as well. I don't know if Reese is on a fast lap right now. Cohen invalidates, unfortunately. We have PJ now coming into the final sector. Well, he's already in the final sector. Come around the final few corners, I should say.
A bit of a lock up there. Went a bit wide, come into the last corner. He's losing the back end a little bit. DRS open as early as you can. You want to take a very light lane. Up to the line now, it's going to be a low 18, high 17, it's 79. Puts him ahead of Larlick, or was he already ahead of Larlick? I'm not too sure. And Blake reset the track. I don't know if that's constitutes anything during qualifying, but yeah, that's qualifying over. Yemo on pole, Pro P2, Phelim on P3. Yeah, that's top 3. Igor looking really strong once again. They didn't expect him to get P2 after only improving by a couple of tenths in the second sector. He must have really pulled something out in that last sector.
Yeah, fair enough to everyone today. Blake, we aren't bothered with right now, but his teammates on pole position, JMO. Lovely stuff. I think he was on pole back in Hungary in the Saturday tier, if I remember correctly. He had a very, very good run. It didn't quite work out in the end. Let's see if JMO can get a win today. JMO goes pole, Pro in P2, and then Philemon in P3. This is the rest of the grid, and then we will skim through the driver section and the incident section for the driver briefing. Race director, there you go. And this time, the game does let us have a look. Liam's unfortunately left the session. Hopefully they can get back during the formation lap. We will see you in a bit. Look at the gap though between P5 and P7. That is pretty close. We'll see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI Summer Season. We're today for the Saturday tier, just on the formation lap, getting warmed up for the Australian Grand Prix sprint race. JMO on pole position for Williams. Then we have Pro in P2, once again putting a pretty good result in. Yesterday had some practice, so let's see if he can bring the experience to today's race. Then we have Philemon in P3, a lot better than last time. Of course, it's an 18-minute qualifying session, so you've got more chances of getting further up the grid. didn't quite get to pole, but he's still in a better position. And if he can win from where he started last weekend, then he can definitely do it again. We have Blake in P4, Vortex in P5 on the soft tyre, and then we have a Cohen, PJ, Larlick, Reese, and Liam. And unfortunately, that's Blake spinning out right there, and another reset to track. So gonna have to note that one down. I do apologise, I don't like to see it, but unfortunately it's gonna have to be what it is. So yeah, all on the medium tyre for the most part, except from Blake, of course. Liam, hopefully they can rejoin the session, but we'll just have to wait and see for them in a bit. Other than that, we're just going to get lined up on the grid, and we'll be good to go. Hold your breath, clench your butt cheeks, as we're about to go racing. Didn't laugh this time, but he spammed the keys.
No, I was wondering that.
I'm joking.
Check
I'm
your
joking,
messages.
I'm joking.
I actually do.
Lights on and away we go. A bit of an odd view once again, but we'll have to just wait and see until it cuts. There you go, and Gemma gets away nicely. Yeah, and Eager Pro not so well, and that was Blake making a big mistake, and I don't know how he didn't wipe anybody out. Else out, I should say, with that. That's Philemon dropping down the order of Vortex. Makes the best of these soft tires. I thought he was going to have a dive on Eager Pro, but what a launch from Cohen once again. Eager Pro down to P3 from that one because of Cohen, and Vortex on that soft tire is going to be looking to make it P4 for the Ferrari. Now Philemon down to P5, didn't quite get away nicely. Still, they have time to make their way through. Only 10 laps, but it's still enough time for Philemon, I would say. Now here comes Vortex charging up with that ERS. Knows he has to make the moves early to extract the pace, but Eager Pros screws him a little bit. That's not ideal at all. I don't know if he'd have got damage from that one. He might have got away with it. Once again, trying to push his way through. Gonna have a look on the brakes, but it's way too far back, and there's contact! There's contact! There's a triple contact! I don't believe it! Eager Pro wipes out. That was, who was that up ahead? That was Cohen. After that brilliant start, Vortex now P2. Philemon regains P3 after all that. PJ up ahead of the Ferrari, but no, he's round. I think he was tagged by Eager Pro behind. I don't know, was that Eager Pro behind? I didn't see that one, but that was a heck of a mix-up, and that is not nice, but it's amazing for this guy who's now 4 seconds ahead of everyone else.
What a start from Yamo, sorry. He got away from everyone else, but Vortex on those soft tyres, I never expected those soft tyres to be so significant in terms of pace. He's going to pull away from everyone now, and hopefully for himself catch up to Yamo. But those soft tires are going to die off, and Philemon, if he keeps the gap, he'll be able to reel him back in. But that was a mental start.
Yeah,
Crashes
I mean, he
everywhere.
wasn't involved in any kind of shenanigans. Of course, Cohen got a good start and would have been there, but the contact, of course, slowed him down, and then everybody else got caught up. Vortex, despite getting through, still had to slow down due to the spinning Ferrari up ahead. So that does definitely help.
There's Reese! Reese is in the wall! He lost the back end going over the curb, maybe bottomed out a little bit, and now he's spun round last place. No wing. It's such a shame.
Yeah, it looking like, I think he was P5 at the time, and Liam had rejoined the session, so they were close, but...
Vortex rounds!
Oh, no!
Those soft tyres clearly not working for him, maybe overheating a little bit. As he loses the back end again on traction, and Larlick's going to get ahead of him as well. So from what was looking like a potential podium, if not race win with that alternative strategy, has now turned into P7, and he's going to have to be careful of those overheating tyres, and he's round again!
Luckily he hits the rear.
Wing.
Yeah, luckily
Wow.
hits the rear, so he's not going to get any damage from that one, and he'll manage to get away with it. With the damage model that we do use, of course, but still not ideal. Just going to lose more time and probably a little bit of confidence as well. We're watching on board with Liam and Blake. These two guys do know each other. That is Vortex out of this one, a voluntary retirement in the end. So that is a shame to see the McLaren out, but unfortunately that's it. That's all you can do. Now we do watch with these guys as Blake goes for the inside move, and Liam's not going to fight it. He knows the long game is much more beneficial, and they just need to make their way through and try their best to catch up to Cohen. If they can use a DRS train, that would be really beneficial around this circuit. It's so tricky to overtake, so they need to get as close as they can as quick as possible. Cohen right now on his own pretty much. Philemon into P2, of course, from Vortex is now out of the race. So Philemon has got a 6.8 second gap to try and catch up to Jomo. Jomo's won a sprint race before, and it's looking like he doesn't really have to do much to win it again. Philemon has got a very big task on his hands.
Yeah, Philemon's got a very big task in his hand, trying to get back up to Yemo, but he's also got Cohen behind him, which Cohen looks a bit fast at this point in the race, so don't discount him for a P2 finish. But now Philemon's going to have him all over the back of him, and he's not got any pressure from behind, and Blake is actually dropping Liam. So, yeah. Maybe Blake can also make a charge up the field, but he's not got any battery left.
Yeah, fair enough. Closest cars right now are Lalak and PJ, the Alpine and the other AlphaTauri. Further down the field, EagerPro currently in the last spot to get a point in the sprint race. Of course, it's not reverse grid though, so wherever you finish is where you start. Now, Cohen is close to Philemon, but not close enough. I wonder what those guys are doing with ERS. We want to watch on board and see if PJ is going to be catching up. Nope, we're going to have a quick look at Cohen's ERS, see if he's using it or if he's not. He is pretty low on it, so that isn't going to help him that much, and makes contact with the wall, unfortunately. That might have given him damage to the angle that he took that. And I don't know what to say. That would have been a nice battle that we could have seen later on. It does look like he had a bit of understeer, he had to lift, and unfortunately I think that is going to be the P2 battle over. Now Blake might have a chance to catch up here if Cohen does have that damage, of course, and the time penalty.
Damage won't actually affect him that bad, although maybe it was in like a 10 for 2 a lap, depending on how bad it is. But he seems to be really struggling, so maybe he is really struggling. Unless people are just taking that line, because I've seen 2 people take that line now into the reprofiled cars, so I'm not too sure. But I think Blake's catching a bit.
Yeah, fair
so
enough.
We'll have to watch out on these two. Is Cohen coming through the chicane now? He's just understeering, so I think for confirmation's sake, he does have damage. Blake gaining another 10th and a bit. So the battle's on for P3.
Yeah, down at P6 and 7, Lalak and PJ not actually going to be in a battle because PJ unfortunately hasn't got any has not got any energy left, so they're not going to be able to push, and they're actually catching up to Liam quite significantly, which is interesting. Liam not too quick right now. Lalak very, very loosey-goosey on the rear, but they've got a lot of ERS to play with, and they've got the DRS. No, they haven't. EagerPro, though, is right behind PJ, so all of a sudden we have got a fairly big battle on the hands.
He goes round!
Once again.
And he's in the wall.
So that is a bit of contact, but I don't know if that'll be enough to pit. Of course, he would still get a point if he just stays where he is, and with the gap that he's got to Reese behind, he doesn't really need to worry about anything at this stage. We will have a look with Cohen and Blake, as Blake does catch up. He still needs half a second if he wants to catch up, but he just got himself a time penalty, so now he has to gain a 3.5 second gap after all that. So not ideal. Philemon gets a time penalty.
Just for a correction,
he has a
Cohen
6
has
second.
6 seconds. Yeah, Cohen has a 6 second, and Blake has a 3 second. So he has to gain about 5 tenths. But if he can just find a couple tenths per lap, I'm sure he can do it. But Cohen's no easy driver to beat, so it's gonna take quite a lot of pace to catch him.
Yeah.
Even though it's only 5 tenths, this track's very hard to gain time on and overtake, as we've seen from the Friday race, as Liam under pressure from Lalak. He's got a little bit more battery, he's using it down the straight. He's not going to go for the move into turn 1. Will he go for the move into turn 3? He's been using that battery. He got a good exit. He's going to be quite close to Liam now. He's going to use all his ERS now. deploying absolutely every last bit, but he backs off. Try to put Liam under pressure, but he's not cracking just yet.
Plus the wait for a minute wasn't close enough. He did take a very different line to Liam, and seems like Liam is using all the track, which does help him secure a pretty good exit, and he needs to do that if he wants to defend from the cars behind. So Larlock's going to have to try and consider what Liam's doing and maybe follow him, because you can see it's just kind of a bit more of an understeery line that Larlock took. Just want to have a quick look. Well, I was going to say Cohen's not actually losing that much time to Philemon. He has unfortunately lost a fair bit. But also Blake's lost a tenth, now 2 tenths to Cohen. So either Philemon's just pulled away massively all of a sudden, or both Blake and Cohen have made a mistake there. So Cohen doesn't seem that slow despite the suspected damage that we believe they have.
Okay, Cohen's doing not too bad. And PJ makes a bit of a mistake, so that's going to roll him out of trying to overtake Larlock. But now Larlock's got the DRS on Liam. Coming on to lap 8 now, we only got 3 laps left of the Grand Prix. Liam just trying to solidify that P5, which would be a good result for him. But Larlock's going to have to say something about that. He's really pushing on that ERS. He's not got much left, neither does Liam. Coming into turn 3, he's just not close enough. He can't do anything just yet. And he needs to watch out for the other AlphaTauri. It's an AlphaTauri sandwich at the moment, with an Alpine filling in the middle.
Yeah.
And he better watch out, because PJ is looking quite good when he doesn't make a mistake.
So just thinking, Liam, 3 tenths, 1.4 seconds out of time penalty range from Blake. Still a long way to go in the amount of laps that we've got left. But, I mean, he's probably not thinking about that now, but it might be something that he's trying to think about. And in that case, he won't want Larlock to attempt the move. But looks like Larlock's getting a lot closer than he's been before. So we might get a move here on the start-finish straight. We'll watch on board with PJ as he makes a little bit of a mistake. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be a trio, as that is Liam having some issues as we go to the final few corners. Now at the final corner, very, very slow for Liam. Larlock's going to be right there, and I think this could be a double pass if PJ can get close enough. And Liam is moving on the straight a fair bit, I have to say. Being very, very cheeky with those limits. And Larlock, in turn, is probably going to get through, have a move to the inside. They throw it down, and
that's a bit of contact.
A bit of a touch. Unfortunately, PJ's gone off. We didn't get to see that one. Larlock not able to hold on for now. Losing the rear once again. We see this. Larlock very twitchy on the car, like we saw in Brazil with Dave Raptors. It seems to be a very, very difficult setup to handle, but they've kept it in a straight line, and now Liam doesn't have any pressure. I think that's going to be the battle's over.
Yeah, I think he's played it well. I mean, I bet dodge in the straight, but I think that's okay. I don't know, we'll have to review that, but yeah, Liam's going to take it home at P5. And can I just say, Yamo with an 11-second lead heading on to the final lap of the race. Wow.
Fair play to him. He's done a very, very good job. We will watch back with him in a bit, but yeah, what a guy. I haven't really watched him at all this race. And to be
Liam's round! Liam, it was looking so good for a P5 finish. And I don't know what's happened. He just had to cruise to the finish line and he's bottled it. And now he's down to P7.
Down to P7. PJ also makes a further mistake, and they have also lost time penalty range on Eagle Pro. Liam can still gain a position back here on Eagle with a 6-second time penalty, but he's going to have to be really careful with those worn or hot tyres. So one final lap to try and get one extra point. Is it going to be possible? I don't quite know. Blake isn't looking like he's going to be able to get within the time penalty range of Cohen. So I think the top 3, I think the whole grid honestly is going to stay as it is except from Eager Pro and Liam.
Aaron? That gap's went from 11 seconds down to 3. And I don't know why, but anyway, Yemo, no matter what the issues are, he's going to come through the last few corners now. He's been dominating from lap 1. He's able to keep it calm throughout the whole race, avoid incidents, and he comes through to win the sprint race. Philemon, close behind in P2, put up a good effort in Cohen, just about holding on to that podium with Blake relentlessly hunting him down. But it's not enough in the end. Blake P4, Lark P5. And let's see, will Ego Pro get out of the 6 seconds of PJ? He won't get out of Liam's 6 seconds. Liam's going to get P6. And I think he's safe to PJ, so Liam P6, Igor P7, PJ 8th. And unfortunately, Reese he's just made a mistake, I think. I think the car might have just spun on him. And he's just going to cruise to the line.
The advantage that he will have had is some practice on his own, and it will have prepared him a little bit for the feature race where the points are a lot more, so it will help him out. There's still a benefit to take from this one, but unfortunately no points, and it will be a 9th place starting position for Reese. But it is what it is, and that's how it's going to have to be. But JMO wins. What a job. Very, very well deserved. It does help if you're in pole position and you don't get involved in the shenanigans, but despite that, he still extended the gap massively, so I didn't doubt that for a second that he couldn't have won that race. So well done to JMO. My words got all muddled up in every kind of way. But that is it. JMO on pole for the feature race, wins the sprint. Philemon P2, and then Kernan P3. Blake, Larlick, Liam, Eager Pro, PJ, and then Reese finishes off the grid with Vortex DNFing early on. Let's see if we can get the race director. No, we can't once again, unfortunately. That'll be that, and then we'll have to be back for the feature race. We'll see you in a minute. Hello, Ron. Sorry for the delay. We'll be back very, very shortly. We're going to have to restart the lobby due to a bug. We will be about 5 minutes. Thank you for the patience. Aileron, sorry for the wait. We'll be there in a minute or two. Hello everyone and welcome back to the LSI summer season. We're today for the Australian Grand Prix and a very, very wet start. JMO is on pole position, of course winning the sprint race. Now we're into the feature race with Philemon in P2, Kern in P3, and then we have Blake in P4, Liam, Eager Pro in P7, PJ, followed by Reese and Vortex, who I hope is in the lobby. Looks like they are. Not trying to say anything there, but there's just a bit of a human error mistake. I don't think a bot would have done that. They would have been going pretty they'd just be glitching around the circuit a little bit. So good to see that Vortex is actually back into the lobby. But yeah, we're good to go racing once again. Sorry, Zingy.
What? Everyone's spinning. Igor, PJ Sponges there. Blake, I don't know if I said Blake. There's everyone spinning on this formation lap. Just try to find grip.
Wet conditions aren't doing too well here. Didn't really expect it, honestly, but you know, dynamic weather, it's going to be what it is. Now, Zingy, we're probably going to be going for the first half of the race on these intermediate tyres. Would that then put us on the second half on mediums, or would we go to hards?
Well, depending, you know, if the weather is approximate, which I'm pretty sure it is, it's cold nearly spins, it would probably be wise to go mediums as they've got a lot of grip and the warm-up phase is quicker. But if you are in cool conditions, I know softs can go a bit further, so we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Now the car's getting lined up on the grid, trying to get some last-minute temperature tires as Yemo. It's really wiggling that steering wheel like mad. Temperature's hard to find in these wet conditions.
Hold your breath. Clench your butt cheeks, as we're about to go racing. Lights out and away we go. Who's gonna get it into turn one? It looks like a pretty nice launch from the Williams, and they've taken a very nice lead. And Philemon all the way down the order. Blake's having a lump in his contact as they go side by side. Big carnage further back.
Everyone's right.
No way did that just happen, and unfortunately that is Philemon all the way down the order. Ooh. Interesting ghosting manoeuvres there. Blake wasn't really supposed to be driving through a ghost car. That will have to be noted. Don't know if anything will be done about it, but it is what it is now. Reese up to P4 after that one. And Philemon, of course, down to P5. Liam Larlock. I think Larlock was involved in a bit of a crash there. I don't know if they've got damage or not. Vortex and Eager Pro, of course, and PJ all the way down the order after that one. And once again, JMO has got away with it very, very nicely.
That I've never seen that before. Well, actually, yes, I've got something to talk about here. Yemo Although he was 2 seconds ahead, Cohen's already caught up. Half a second as Larlock and Vortex go side by side. Vortex get the position. He's looking absolutely rapid. Now he's all over the back of Liam. Coming into the new 90-degree right-hander. He's going to go to the inside, braking as late as he can. It's going to be very tricky in wet conditions as it's easy to lock up. And he's done it. 2 positions and 2 corners just like that. Larlock falling back a lot as Vortex shoots up the order.
Lovely, lovely stuff. Will Reese be able to make their way back through the grid? I don't quite know. They're close to Blake, but I think it's just going to be a chase now. Reese has got to take advantage of this because this is a very nice position to be in. We have Eager Pro having a quick look at Liam, but they're going to have to wait until turn 3 if they're going to go for anything. Getting very, very close on the brakes. Lovely, lovely run there for Eager Pro. I thought it was almost too good to be true, but what a move there. And Liam is just dropping down, not confident on the acceleration as Larlock is a little bit more confident on the brakes and unfortunately goes into the back of Liam there. And PJ has caught up nicely to these guys. Eager Pro very close to Vortex, puts the pressure on and gonna have a go into turn 6. Can he get it done? They go side by side. Don't know if that was too wise from Vortex, especially in these conditions. Eager Pro does take the position after that, and Vortex is still close, pushing on that ERS, trying to have a look on the inside. Not going to be able to get alongside, but they're still trying to do it, which is, once again, not very wise from Vortex, and that is Eager Pro's corner, I think. I don't think Eager Pro can really be blamed for that one. I'd have to look at the replay, but that's how that one goes.
Larlock down the inside, Liam's actually got a bit of damage, that's probably why he's so slow. And Larlock's now up to P8, so after having a little bit of a shaky start, he's taking it nice and slow, and Liam needs to pit, man. He really does. If he wants to salvage something in this race, he needs to get a new wing. He's like 2 or 3 seconds slow on that, and I know Liam, he's not that slow, so that front wing's really affecting him. As now PG's all over the back of him, he's just going to let him go, he's not going to hold up his teammate.
Not ideal, we're going to have to quickly look at Reese, sorry for that one. Blake is still just a bit too far ahead. Reese wants to get there, looks pretty good on the brakes, but just when it comes to it, he can't quite get there. And with these intermediate conditions, I mean, I don't know if the ERS usage is that hard to manage. It's a lot easier, of course, to manage in the wet conditions. It just gets a little bit more difficult, but so far looks all good.
Yemo's round, sorry. Oh, when he's reset the track.
Oh
no. He spun, and now I think he was just trying to keep Cohen behind, and Cohen had a lot more pace, it seemed like. And he's spun under the pressure. Here comes Philemon, absolutely rocketing past Yemo into P4. The Mercedes now 3 and 4th. It didn't look too good for him at the start of the race, but now both Mercedes are on a charge. And he's going to put Blake under a lot of pressure. The Williams versus Mercedes battle. Well, never expected this.
Oh, as Philemon makes a mistake, Jamo's thirsty to get back in front, but he can't quite do it. Right now, just noticed that Kern's actually meant to be in a Haas. I don't quite know why they're in the Red Bull. There's not really any reason to be in the Red Bull. That will have to be investigated later on. I can't quite remember what happens if you do that, but it's obviously not ideal. Reese is close, but not quite close enough, and of course Philemon has been able to keep with these guys because they are so close. Blake now leads this train, and then JMO finishes off the order. He's right behind, still wants to get through, but the 2 Mercedes are in a Williams sandwich, but can't really do anything about it right now. Maybe, and I don't like to say it, Blake is slower and Reese just can't find a way through, and if he does, then he might run away with this. I don't think Blake's slow because obviously he's far enough ahead right now, but it's just very, very difficult to overtake in these wet conditions. I have a question. Going for out of turn 6 into 7, you know, the new straight, will you lose the rear if you try and keep it tight?
Tight? Oh, yes. Okay. If you try and keep it tight, you're going to have to let off the throttle. But I think it's more worth keeping it tight, going off the throttle a little bit, because you're minimising the distance to the next set of corners.
Here goes Philemon on the inside of Reese. Reese doesn't want to give it up, and there's contact between the 2 teammates. JMO's going to go through. Oh, that was very, very tight, and somehow it didn't end up worse than it already was, as that could have very easily caused Philemon to spin. but manages to somehow keep it together. I'd like to see a replay on that one, but I don't know if anything happened there. Philemon maybe not too happy with that one, makes a slight mistake because of it, but I don't think they've got any damage. They're going to be able to carry on into this race, but the two teammates coming together like that, that is not what you want to see.
Yeah, that's number one rule. You don't want to collide with your teammate, and it's quite treacherous, so these things are going to happen sometimes. You need to give the driver some leeway, because these conditions are tricky. That's coming from me. I love the rain last game. As we say, PJ and Vortex, sorry, battling. Vortex keeps P8 at the moment. PJ almost loses the car. And he almost loses it again. PJ really struggling on the traction, it seems like. Yeah, it's really tricky out there.
Yeah.
So no, I'm going to have to interrupt you again. Igor has spun it. He's lost his wing. Thankfully Ghosting was on, otherwise that would have been a cataclysmic crash.
Is that going to be a safety car? It has been in the past. I don't think it will. It looked like PJ wanted to go through Igor, but it wasn't in time, and he almost crashed straight into the back of him, unless that was Liam there. But they've both caught up to one another. Of course, PJ making that mistake, but EcoPro now at the back of the grid. I was going to say EcoPro is pretty lonely right now on their own in P6, but now they're down the order, unfortunately, and they're going to have to make an unscheduled pit stop. And, of course, Kern leading the way by almost 7 seconds right now. We've got Blake, Reese, JMO all close together. Of course, Philemon right there as well. But now Philemon has dropped behind. That does mean that the two Williams are going to be sandwiching Reese. That might be time to try and work together, but it doesn't seem like they're really into that kind of vibe, and I respect that, honestly. Pure racing is what we want to see, and JMO's just going to have to try and get past him fair and square, but so far, just can't get close enough. It's very tricky in these conditions to overtake it. When you want to catch up, it's not easy, but it's a lot easier to do so. But then you get in within 1 second of the car ahead, but you just can't close. But that straight line speed is a mega! On the outside, lovely stuff, and he's taken him into turn 9, and that was absolutely amazing. Reese did rightfully back out as Jomo just managed to absolutely storm that one. That straight line speed was absolutely crazy. He nailed the exit and spun the ERS. I don't know if maybe Reese didn't, or he'd run out of ERS. I just want to have a quick look at the wheel. I'm not going to say how much he has and how much he doesn't have, but I mean, he has a lot of ERS to defend with, so I didn't quite expect that one. But once again, JMO's going to have a go. That straight line speed is absolutely incredible, even on his teammate. He can't even defend. A bit of a twitch into the corner, so maybe that's explaining what it is, as he does go purple. But Blake's very, very close to the back of him after that slight mistake. But going back to P2 now, and he's going to try his best to hunt down Cohen. But you did say earlier on Cohen was right behind JMO, I think. And maybe Cohen's faster on track. I don't quite know.
Well, he did just set a purple first sector there, and that's instantly beaten by Yemo. I think, hear me out, Yemo is running a low downforce setup, or just a dry setup in general. He's seen the weather, and he's going on a dry setup. Maybe that's why he's so quick in the straights compared to some of these guys who might be on a wet setup.
Yeah, the rain's actually already stopped. Sorry to
yeah, I was about to mention to you last lap, but obviously we were busy with Yemo absolutely rocketing past everyone. Speaking of passing people, Philemon on the back of Reese. Is he going to go down the inside into the right hander? Reese goes defensive.
That was lucky that Philemon didn't go for that then. If he did, then that could have ended up in tears. I think Philemon luckily preempted it. But yeah, Reese was maybe being a little bit cheeky there. That was asking for a collision. Luckily they get away with it. Once again, getting a pretty decent exit is Philemon, but Reese using the ERS to escape, and he's not going to be able to get close to his teammate at all. Maybe Reese can challenge Blake here. I don't think so. He's just a bit too far behind.
Yeah. I've just noticed that, yeah, the rain stopped, But Blake's actually looking better now compared to recent film one than what it was about 2 or 3 laps ago when it was still raining. So maybe Blake also has a dry setup but can't get the most out of the car like Yemo can.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be
Just a
wanting
suggestion.
to run a wet setup. You'd be wanting to run maybe more of a hybrid setup if you were going to try that. Other than that, you'd go for a dry one. That's a bit of a mistake, I think, possibly for Reese. No, it was for Philemon. I thought I saw one of the cars dart to the inside as they tried to correct the car. Maybe I saw that wrong, but Philemon has dropped behind a little bit. They need to be careful, of course, because the rain has stopped, so DRS will come into effect in a couple of laps. So they need to make sure that they're within 1 second, otherwise they will have problems. Reese has also lost that DRS range. I didn't actually realise that Vortex had a penalty, but not ideal. But I mean, would they want a safety car? The gap that they have right now, they would. And Reese is off. Reese is off, and Philemon's gonna go through. I don't believe it. He's made it. Lovely, lovely stuff for Philemon at least. But Reese down to P5, gonna be furious with himself. Blake going for a fastest lap there. And yeah, definitely the Williams are using a dry setup.
I did tell you, Blake's looking a lot more comfortable in these conditions. So maybe I was right, these two are probably running a dry setup. Because they were struggling at the start of the race, remember, when Yemo spun, Blake dropped down, but now that the rain's easing off, these enters are going to turn more to dry tyres, if anything. You know, these guys are going to become unstoppable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I assume a couple of drivers will have thought about the dry section of the race, but right now the Williams are just definitely pretty eye-catching. Very, very, very quick. It seems like Jomo's may be running a lower downforce setup than Blake. Blake just is very, very stable in the corners, which is very, very good to see, but they're looking to hunt down Cohen here. The Red Bull might be under threat, and once the pit stops do come into effect, they're going to have to get it perfect if they want to gain any time, but the tyres are going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. The track is still pretty greasy though, so I don't think it is really time to pit just yet.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a couple more laps. I mean, there's only like 10 drivers driving, so it's going to dry up much slower than what you'd say with 15, 20 people. And that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, there is a little battle going on for the wooden spoon. Igor and Liam. Igor's got a lot of battery, so does Liam. He uses it on the straight. He's not going to pass him into turn 1. That would be quite silly for Igor to do. He knows better than that. Breaking for turn 1, he wants to get a great exit here on the power as early as you dare. But he just can't seem to get the traction, so maybe he is running also a dry setup. Coming into turn 3, he can't do anything just yet, so Igor's going to have to wait a bit.
I don't think Liam's pitted for a flush wing, but then Eager Pro definitely has, so... Oh no! Wait, he hasn't! Eager Pro's driving on no front wing, or is that a visual bug on my side? I didn't expect that. If he is, that's incredible. But driving with no front wing in the wet conditions, how about that? Maybe that is just what you can do in the new cars. Why? I didn't even realise that was happening. But he's
going for
trying to have a go into turn 9. Now going to get a very, very good run. Going to charge the ERS up, and he might be able to outbrake Liam here. Is that really going to be possible? No. Just doesn't have it, but he forces Liam into a slightly wide moment. But no, it's not enough. But really? Am I seeing this wrong? I have to be seeing this wrong.
I'm seeing this as well, as he doesn't have a front wing. The thing is though, Liam has also got damage. So maybe, I don't know. Look at this straight line speeds, Aaron. Look. If you can, 140, 50, 60, it just keeps climbing. So I think, for confirmation, he doesn't have a front wing.
Yeah. Fair enough. But that is still pretty incredible. This is what true legends are made of. Now he's going to get a lovely, lovely run, and on the inside, maybe not going to be able to outbrake Liam as such, but He's outmaneuvered him.
He's done it.
That is incredible. Ego Pro doesn't even need a front wing. Maybe it was just slowing him down, weighing down the car, but that is incredible. I don't know why I didn't even notice until now, but fair play to Ego Pro.
Is that even legal?
If you're not significantly slower, then yes. If you're a danger to others on circuit, then you have to pit, but
I mean,
he's not a danger. He's fast at the moment, which, unless it's just the wet conditions or the new cars, I don't quite know what's going on, but that is incredible to actually see there, I have to say. Just want to have a quick look at the top. The three now, yeah, let's say three. They've both caught up to Cohen by quite a significant margin. Blake has dropped, unfortunately. I think they might have made a couple of mistakes. Everybody's pretty far apart from one another right now. But yeah.
Liam's in. I want to watch this because he might go into dry tires. He might be the first one to bite the bullet coming into the pits, getting it stopped. Now, the new Melbourne track allows you to go 70 mile an hour. 50 mile an hour, sorry. It doesn't get the front wing change, but he is going on to soft. Liam providing us with the entertainment that we need.
That's interesting. I thought it was going to go for the soft so he can get the front wing changed early on. Unless that's a bug. I don't quite know.
No, because he wouldn't be at the pits by now. So, I think he's actually went for it. Now, his tyres are going to be cold, so you're going to have to give him a lap or two to see if he'll be fast enough. But he needs to watch it for not getting lapped.
The track is very greasy right now. Very greasy, but I should actually pay attention to JMO, of course. The circuit's dry and he's getting a lot quicker, but oh my, is he so much faster than Cohen. The Red Bull is not having a good time. I don't know if he's got an issue, but we're going to have a look and see 1.5, 1.6 seconds into the corners. He didn't actually gain time into the corner, but on the straight, he's an absolute rocket. Never mind, I've contradicted myself there. All of a sudden, as we're watching Cohen, Damo's not catching up. Maybe in the more technical sections of the circuit he is. I don't know, tyres are going to be very, very hot here. So it's going to be extremely difficult to actually have a go. Let's see if JMO catches up now. We hit the longest straight of the circuit. I don't quite know.
He's using battery, and let's see that gap. 1.6, 5, 4, just about. No, I think Cohen used a little bit of battery there. Yep, 1.4 now. So I think he is fast in the straights. I think he just looks faster overall.
Bit of a mistake there for Cohen though, as he enters turn 10. So just a little bit of a different line. JMO had the faster line. I think we might see a pit stop here now. They're within 1 second of one another. I don't know. I think we could probably see it. Is Liam faster though? That's the problem. DRS is enabled.
DRS enabled.
No one goes.
And they both missed the pit lane. Blake's going to do it surely. Yes, he is. Blake from P3. He's going to be the first driver to react. Philemon then behind him. Well, Reese go for it. I reckon Reese is going to go for it. He's going to go for it, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Of course he is. Reese into the pit lane as well. Look, I think everyone's going to go for it. These top two are going to left to drive. Philemon, what's he doing? He's on the hard tyre. That's going to really take a while to heat up. But you know what? I'm not going to ask Philemon anything. He's a great driver and he knows what he's doing. But Reese has now dropped 10, 15 seconds. So it's a shame for Reese.
Yeah, I had to wait.
As everyone's in. Blake's on mediums. There's split strategies.
Oh, side by side, PJ and Philemon as they exit the pit lane. That is not what you want to see now. PJ should be quick because they got their tyres warmed up, but if you actually look at it, PJ could possibly have 2 warm tyres. Of course, Philemon on the hards.
Draw your attention to this battle. DRS enabled for the first time. This was Yamo's going to go right around the outside of the cone, coming into the slow right-hander, and he's done it. He's finally back up at the P1, but he makes a mistake. Cohen's going to use his ERS. He's going to go back down the inside. Oh my days. Side by side, the wheels side touching, coming into the last corner. Oh, he's went wide. And what's going to happen? They're both going to try and go in the pit lane. Cohen lets off. That's very smart from him, very nice. And Yamo's P1, a bit of contact made, but I think it's fine. these changeable conditions really are tricky.
Yeah.
And coming into the pit lane now, Cohen on mediums, Yemo, what's he going to go for? He's also going to go for the medium tyre. Now, I don't know if Blake's going to gain much time, because he did make a mistake. I don't think you caught it, but he made a very big mistake. He went off, lost about 4 seconds. But we're going to have to watch these guys. They're on
Philemon's
cold
had an
medium
issue
tyres
as well.
Has he?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe PJ's just had the better idea to stay out a little bit longer, because he's 6 seconds, 7 seconds behind, as he was, I think, side by side with Philemon earlier on. So PJ right now is a lot quicker. He's got to be careful that his tyres don't heat up too much, so he can't be too happy with it, but he's a lot quicker.
And he's going for it.
Gonna send it.
Oh.
Blake doesn't want him to challenge him, does he? He just doesn't want to have to deal with an intermediate car ahead, but he's baited in. Lovely, lovely stuff from PJ. That's what you want to see. He will now go ahead. The question is, for how long will he be able to keep it in a straight line? Because, you know, the longer you'll go, you will have a bit of an advantage for a short period of time, but the tyres, once they get too hot, you're going to be uncontrollable.
Yeah, I've just noticed, I think I know why Philemon's falling behind. I mean, it's a silly thing to say, but obviously he is on those hard tyres, and they're going to take a while to heat up. As we see, Yemo going defensive into a corner you don't need to go defensive at, so maybe he's throwing under threat from Cohen. He's going defensive at every corner. What's up? Has he got an issue or something?
I don't quite know.
Something's clearly going on.
Maybe he's thinking that
the
Curran
straight.
would challenge. I don't know, but yep, down to the DRS straight. Does get DRS, and this is the corner that you need to defend on a little bit. And then the next corner is what you have to defend on, but he doesn't manage to get a switch back. He overestimated it, unfortunately, and he's going to lose the run. I don't think he'd have got damage, as he just hits the nose cone. The front...
Cohen is very frustrated with
Yeah,
that.
front part of the nose. He doesn't get any damage, but after go again, he does seem to be pretty good right now, which is interesting, but lost the car a little bit in turn 6. PJ into the pits after all that, and I have to say he's gained a lot of time from staying out, so fair play to PJ.
Yeah, PJ's made a lot of places due to just staying in the DRS and staying on those intermediate tyres, but I'm pretty sure now... Oh! We were just talking about him, and he's spun those cold medium tyres. Oh, he's in the wall, and his wings fell off, and he's reversing, and it's just gone to rubbish, and he's doing donuts now, unintentionally. Oh, it just went from bad to worse for PJ. He's just struggling. Those cold tyres really affected him.
Yeah, track's fully dry now, and JMO has managed to get their mojo back, and they have, well, found a lot of pace. So it looks like maybe Cohen. Nope, he hasn't held on to DRS. I think he just about missed it. No, okay,
he's got it.
Fair play. He's got it for another 2 straight. So we're going to have a quick look at the time penalties of 3 seconds. So I don't know, that might be legit. Of course, he got an unfair 6 second for going off at turn 4, but I don't think you get a 3 second if you get off at turn 4, so he might have a legit one. That's eager pro round, unfortunately.
Yeah, these tricky conditions are really catching out some people. It looks dry, but the grip, there's no grip. The circuit's been washed away with water, so there's no grip at all. So yeah, that's not ideal. Yemo absolutely flying. 1.2 ahead now as Vortex sits faster than that, but the times are going to keep tumbling. Yemo's got not got any battery, neither does Vortex. No one's got much battery, really.
I think they're just
Maybe...
trying to push to make sure that they keep their gaps, although that's Reese round, unfortunately. So losing all those positions, no. Vortex makes it. And that, once again...
He's beached it!
Oh, he's going to have to reset to track. He does have permission to do that. I don't know if he knows how to do that, but he's just warming up the tyres significantly.
He's to be fair, he's getting... Oh wait, no, he's stuck now.
He has to reset, otherwise it's going to disqualify him.
Come on, Reese! Oh no!
No, that's not nice.
Just F.
Yeah. That's not nice. It does say in the rules you can reset, but I guess maybe he didn't know that. And unfortunately, that is Reese out of this one, getting beached after a spin. Don't really know what to say.
That's what can happen, though.
Yep. So unfortunately, is what it is. Done. He's gone. Looking for some points, but not going to happen. I was interested to see if you could catch up to his teammate on the hard tyres. I do wonder if Philemon will be faster later on in the session or not. Maybe the switch over point for pace won't actually come in. I don't quite know.
Well, I don't want to disappoint you, Aaron, but the medium tyre starts to go off after 12 laps. Philemon, what, 1, 2, maybe 3 laps with extra pace. It's not going to do much. As he's 8 seconds behind, he's not going to catch 8 seconds in 3 laps. So maybe Philemon's underestimated how good these tyres actually are. But it's Philemon after all, we know what he can do. He somehow manages to find a way into the top 3 every race, I swear. So,
Yeah.
well, let's see. Who's that? Oh, it's Liam! I think he came in for our new front wing, and now he's spun too.
Got damage.
Doing a carbon copy of his teammate.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Got exactly the same amount of damage that he had before. He's just gonna have to carry on with it now. I don't know if he will be able to go again, but yeah, that's unfortunately that for Liam. He's just gonna have to try and
Vortex
hold
is
on.
round as well. What's going on, man?
Vortex.
Just no grip on the track.
Yeah, not finding it too easy. Of course, the transition to the dry circuit. I think some of these guys are using a wet setup, so that's gonna make it a little bit. I don't know if you'd say difficult. It's probably quite. I don't know. Compared to the 21 setups, you'd have a stiff setup compared to a dry condition setup, and you would also be running higher diff and lower tyre pressures. So maybe the tyres aren't quite doing what they want. They might be wearing pretty quickly and a little bit cold. I don't quite know, but the car might be pretty stiff and difficult to handle over the curbs.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that. Maybe that's why I respun. Maybe he was running a wet sub because he wasn't looking too bad in the wet. So, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it's treacherous out there. There's not really many battles going on at the moment. Everyone's really spread out. It's Vortex is spun again. Oh, don't get it beached. Don't get it beached. Okay, thank goodness he's not got it beached.
Unfortunately, another
But now
issue.
Ego Pro's up to P6.
Yeah, P6, lovely
Yeah.
points. Now, gonna have a quick look at JMO. He's leading the way. We're gonna have to pay some attention because I haven't really watched him for a couple of laps at least, but he's managed to recover despite the issues at the start, back into the lead and back up to pace. He's got a significant amount compared to his competitors right now, and no time penalties. So right now he's absolutely loving this. I say that as he rides the curb, has to lift, unfortunately. Remember, this guy is in VR, so this would be, I think, the first ever VR win. Obviously, he's already won the sprint race today, but feature race-wise, this would be the first VR win for sure, which should be really, really fun to see. But yeah, what a guy. He's on his way. I don't want to jinx it. We're still not to the end of this race. We've got a long way to go. But Cohen, not quite as fast. He does have consistency. He's right there. He just lost that time penalty, which is going to hinder him.
Right, you need to be quiet about Yemo because you done it last week with Igor, and we're not having the same thing happen again. I'm sorry. Yeah. I can't go through heartbreak once again, Aaron. Honestly. Oh, who is round? That's when the Alpha Tower is, and it's PJ. What looks like decent points for these two guys. It's just turned into a dismal weekend.
Yeah, turn 2 is very, very tricky to get right. You have the inside curb, of course. You have of course, turn 1, which might throw you around. Then you have the inside curb on the left for turn 2, which then will throw you the opposite way. And then it just gets a little bit of a tank slapper. You also have the exit curb on turn 2, which if you ride it in the wrong way, it's going to cause you to lose the car as well. So it's a very, very difficult first few corners to get right. And that's what they're finding.
Yeah, it's just quite difficult, isn't it? You know, you can't predict this type of weather to happen when obviously the drivers knew because of I'm waffling, mate. I can't lie.
All good. We're going to have a quick look at Eager Pro to just double check he's got his front wing on. He does now. He's managed to find it. They forgot to put it on, it seemed, in the Ferrari pit lane before the race even started. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. He did have a front wing. Of course, he was driving without it after the crash, but it did seem to gain him a fair bit of time. Into P6, of course, we saw Vortex spin, but I don't know how many time penalties he's got, but right now he's looking for some points at least. Not as many as he wants. Yesterday, trying to look to challenge for the title, but I think he might have just about dropped out of contention. But yeah, lovely random joining the session. Someone isn't unfortunately offline on Steam. It does allow people to join, but that is PJ retired from the session. Not going to be a safety car because it is in the pit lane.
Correction, it's on the start finish straight. I think he, he did spin off the final corner, and I'm guessing he just voluntarily quit, which I don't think is allowed. But anyway,
it's a shame. It's a shame. No points at all. You will never get a chance if you're not in it. And Vortex decides to go into the pit lane. Gonna go for a set of softs then, I guess. Not sure why they don't go for a front wing change. They're just looking for a fastest lap. If you're going to go for a fastest lap, I would assume you would pit a little bit later on to make sure those softs are up to standard for the final few laps of the Grand Prix. Of course, the tyres will be fresher, the car will be lighter, but he goes for it. He wants to go to the end of the race on these softs in fair play. But
yeah, I'll just let him do it.
yeah, he's going to be able to jump ahead of Liam. Of course, Liam was not that... Well, no, he was far enough back for Vortex to be close. Maybe Liam will be able to find pace again. Does he still have that damage, though? He does. So despite having possibly the advantage on the tyres as we get to the end of the race, he's probably not going to have it wing-wise. And Vortex is just taking a very calculated risk here. He wants to go for the fastest lap by only dropping one position that he can probably regain.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good little battle they can have as he tries to take the fastest lap. He needs to get ahead of Liam, but will he use him as a DRS slingshot?
Possibly.
I think maybe he's thought, if I get behind Liam, use my ERS, he won't battle me too much. But will he though?
Yeah, you get double DRS wherever you are, so if you can get a good run here, he's going to send it on the inside. I didn't quite see the opportunity, but he saw it. Going to screw his run up, which is why I was very surprised why he took it. Now he's going to have to go for the move into turn 3, which he probably will. Got the DRS, got the faster tyre. And Liam is going to go to the inside line, dummies it now to the inside, so that's going to once again screw up the potential for a fastest lap. They'll get another opportunity later on. They've made the move though, so that at least there's a positive for that one, but I was just very surprised at the way that was done. But fair enough. They are unfortunately both lapped, so you do have to consider Vortex won't have to go one extra lap into the race.
Maybe that's why he done it then.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe he's running a bit low on fuel. That is a possible strat that people can use. But yeah, Vortex going for the extra point. If he can, cuts the corner mega. I don't know if he got a warning or if he got away with that one. But if you did get away with that one, fair play. I do know that you can cut it a lot more than you could do in the last game.
Oh yeah, you can definitely do it. I want to draw your attention to this battle that has recently been forming. For P5, Igor and Lorla, because Igor gets another 3 seconds of ruining that. But anyway, Igor looks a lot faster as Co into the pits.
Interesting. Igor Pro makes a bit of a mistake, contact with the wall, but it wouldn't be enough to cause any damage. Doesn't really matter. Igor Pro doesn't need a front wing anyway. Now going into the second DRS, third DRS straight off the track. Gets a lovely run, takes a more cautious entry, secures a better exit, has the DRS to back it up, and he goes for it. And that is a very textbook move, so well done to Ego Pro. But yeah, Cohen into the pit lane, going for the soft tyre, going for the fastest lap. Now, they will be able to go to the end of the race. They've decided to back out from a potential race win. They want to get back ahead of Blake, which I think they might be able to. Gonna look at time penalties that equal with Blake, so they just need to jump up ahead. 2.3 seconds. They're not too far behind, but in theory, if Blake was an absolute masterclass defender and very good in a straight line, which I think he is, it's going to be quite difficult to actually escape and get past and challenge for fastest lap.
Well, this is going to be very interesting because there's only 4 laps to go. Although those soft tires are going to be quick, as we see in our random running, they're going to go off a little bit around lap 28, 9. And Blake, although he's catching, he's not got much time to pass. Catching is one thing, passing is another.
Indeed, it is Vortex fastest lap, and Cohen's going to try and challenge this lap if he can do it. He's going to be going as fast as he possibly can. Might get DRS onto the final straight. Of course, on the exit turn down to 11, but right now he's just going to have to wait for it. Vortex gets another time penalty, but he's very far ahead of Liam, as unfortunately Liam has made a mistake. So jumping ahead nicely. Yep, Cohen is going to be close. Will he be able to escape? That is the question. He doesn't need to escape time penalty range, he just needs to escape Blake pressuring him later on in the race, just in case those softs do die off. But Cohen, very, very quick on the softs. Of course, that exit that he'll get with the extra grip will catapult him. Initially, it will give him a lot of acceleration. The straight line speed will be...
Oh, he's made a bit of a mistake, though.
He'd be affected, but yep, DRS available now. Not the run what he wanted. He might have to try and send it on the brakes, and he will go for it. Bit of contact, which is interesting. Sends Blake a little bit wide. Didn't really see what happened there. Blake's not happy, and a bit of understeer moment. Cohen's round.
He's into the track. Oh my days.
And that's that one. Philemon goes through.
Everyone's up in the podium. I told you. I told you. Wait, why is he pitting? Why is he pitting?
I don't know.
What's going on?
He was on the hards, so maybe he wants to go for the fastest lap. He doesn't have pressure behind, so he could go for it. I guess he was thinking that Cohen would still be too fast to actually hold off. And yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that was the right choice. Cohen's tyres would be pretty hot, but I think they'll cool down in time. Yeah, okay, fair play to Philemon. Not a bad call.
But he probably would have got that penalty for the reset the track, although he didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true, actually. It's still... if he can gain 8 seconds in under 2 laps, then... 3 laps, sorry, then maybe we'll see it. But, yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't quite know. You got a point. So, that could have been a podium, but right now he's just going to have to focus for the extra fastest lap point. So lots of people in contention for it now as we come to the final stages of the race.
Well, from what was looking like Cole getting an easy P2, there was a bit of an incident. I don't know who's at fault here, but for now it looks like Blake's going to be in P2, bringing home a Williams 1-2 here, which the last time that happened here was Australia in 1996-7. So, although it's a game, very historic.
Indeed.
Thing will be happening today. So
yeah,
it's a bit mental.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Williams 1-2. I don't know when it was. It was early F1 2021. So it's taken a while. Usually, the Williams drivers are pretty rapid and they are able to get quite high up. We've seen much success from the Williams team in LSI history, and we're gonna see it again today. As of now, Cohen is on the soft tire. He's probably not going to be close enough to get to Blake. Of course, they had the squabble. Unfortunately, lost all that time. They're both on equal time penalties. Right now, the two Williams just have to relax and take it to the line. And they're doing an amazing job. 21 seconds ahead is Blake.
It's fun!
Cohen. Cohen.
Wait! Philemon's going to catch him!
Might be able to get within that 10-second time penalty. It's going to be very, very, very possible. 17 seconds right now. I think that's probably going to change.
I'll update a couple of seconds. Let's see the gap now. 17. 9 seconds. It's 7 seconds. It's dropping by this second.
He's going to be in time penalty range after all that, and he's going to take a podium. Fair play. Philemon's done it again.
Just yet. Oh wait, I thought he spun like there again. It was just Liam. God, my heart went in there.
Don't worry, it's just Liam. It's all good.
No, Liam, I love you really. You're a great guy, but...
Oh, can I make another mistake? Maybe. If this keeps happening, Philemon might even actually make a move on the track. Did he just go for a faster lap? Eagerpro's going to spin and they're going to possibly lose that one to Larlock. Larlock's right there and he's going to have no tyre issues. And yep, he's through. That's probably going to be it, especially if Eagerpro's 15-second time penalty. I don't know if that's a bug, but it is what it is. Looking back here though, JMO has done a mega job. Going to come around the final few corners to take the double today. Maximum points despite the fastest lap, but doesn't really matter. He crosses the line to make it a Williams victory. JMO wins for the first time in the feature race, and Blake is looking for it as well. He's just got the final few corners to navigate, and it's going to be that. And Cohen makes another mistake, and it is Philemon up on track anyway. It doesn't matter. He's ahead, and that is Philemon into P3. Can have a quick look at Blake, of course. He's done it. Well done indeed to him. Philemon is coming to look at a P3, a lovely podium, despite everything that happened today. Well done indeed. Cohen looking for his first win, but it didn't work out, and he's going to have to settle for a P4. Unfortunately, that's going to be that one done. What a shame, but it is what it is. He will come back stronger for the finale at Miami, I'm sure. Larlock is going to take a P5. Eagerpro will not be able to get back ahead. And then, of course, Vortex and Liam have both been lapped, so they will stay as they are. That is the grid. What a switch up at the end.
Mad.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Fair enough indeed, though. Well done to JMO. He is the man to beat. He's done an incredible job. And fully deserved. He had the issues back in, of course, Brazil, looking for a possible win. Blake gets driver of the day, making all his positions. But JMO's done it. He's got the redemption that he needed, and he wins twice. Mega job. And then we'll have a quick look at the results. Alrighty. Thank you, game. Spent long enough loading, and we just want to see everything. There you go. There he is. There's the man coming onto the podium. He's done it. It's great to see him back on top. He won many races in the NA tier. We haven't seen him in the European tiers, but we have now. It is a World Championship the summer season, but JMO takes P1, Blake in P2, and then Philemon in P3, Cohen, Larlock, Eagerpro, Vortex, Liam in P8, and then PJ and Reese DNF earlier on in the session. Fastest lap did go to Philemon in the end, so well done to him. Looking at the race director, looking at the driver section, the incident section, and then the pit stops just in case. And then I do want to have a quick look. Oh, wait, no, we reset the lobby, so it's not actually going to let us look at the sprint race after all. That's fair enough. But we'll be back for the post-race interviews. We will see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the photos interviews of the Australian Grand Prix. What a heck of a race and what a heck of a domination from these guys. Did have to recover it, but JMO, you finally got the double win. Well done. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, definitely was a little bit of a scare there, especially the start of the race. Like the sprint race felt good, and me and Blake had spent a lot of time prepping our setup, and we'd actually done a full race sim a couple times this week where we went through and we did quali and the sprint race, and so like we had raced this a few times, and I felt good, then spun, and somehow or another got back. So again, thanks to Blake as well. Blake helped me out and let me get back up there where I could fight for P1 again. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Really well done. Brilliant job. I can't really say much more than that. Next race, don't know if you're going to be there, but Miami, brand new circuit. It'll be the home track as well. Do you like it?
I love it. Not as much as my teammate. I expect to see big things. Not to put pressure on Blake, but that's definitely Blake's home course since he's from Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do enjoy it. It's going to be challenging, and I definitely don't think we'll have another safety car free race.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, really well done. Very well deserved. And one last question. How do you describe your race in 3 words?
Really freaking intense.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thanks. Bye.
And we move on to Blake. Blake, a P2, a Williams 1-2. Well done. That was very, very nice points. And if I'm correct, Williams might now be constructors leaders. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to double check. But can you take us through that one? That was a heck of a race.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Turn 1, honestly, lap 1, turn 1, no idea what happens. I was going for the inside, door shut, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the sprint race was also awful for me. I think I got taken out lap 1 before the first turn, actually. I was off on the grass.
Ouch.
But, other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Then,
Finally good points. Well done today. It's great to see you up there. And now heading to the finale at your home track. The Florida man is on his way. Do you think you can do well there?
Yeah, hopefully I can make it, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it.
That's all right. Do you like the track?
Yes, love it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Probably one of my best tracks, but
hopefully there's no crocodiles there. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Very fudging chaotic.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. And that's been the post-race interviews for the Australian Grand Prix. Thank you very much for watching, and I will pass it on to Zingy.
Yep, thanks for watching everyone. We'll see you next time in Miami, 8 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. PDT, and 9 p.m. CEST. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. See you later.